Hello lovelies. Today I will be showing you how to become a vampire. As you can see, I've got my little props and jewellery on, ready to go because the costume makes the look. I've added some extra rings just for a bit of vampire-y flair. Let's get started. So first off, I'm just going to start with moisturising my face real quick. Just a little bit. And I just use my hands. You can use a brush if you like. I use my hands just because it keeps the product nice and warm. Lovely, lovely. And this is just gonna help with the and this is just some Garnier 7-day moisture treatment moisturizer that I've put in a little decanter thing just so it's smaller. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with BYA's white liquid foundation. I'm gonna make myself a little bit pale because we really want to go for that nice vampire look. Beautiful. And I'm just gonna get a nice brush. You can of course use a sponge as well, whichever works easiest for you. I'm gonna use a brush and a sponge. And I'm just gonna pop that on. Now this has quite a full coverage, not too full, but it does make you look a bit paler. You can paint it on, or you can just apply it like you would apply your normal foundation. Too easy. I've got a bit of a different setup around me today, so I'm just going to look over here in my mirror. We're just going to work that in, get rid of all that redness that I have in my cheeks, because we want to appear just a tiny bit dead looking. Just gonna spread this all over. Now of course you can use face paint as well if you need to, and if that's all you got, by all means a bit of white face paint would work wonders as well. If you are using or you can just use a very pale foundation if you do not have paint, or what I am using. I'm just going to apply a bit more over here. Sorry. We're just gonna cover this all over. Ooh, wow. Now I've got a bit of sunlight coming into the room here today, which is great. We can use that to see what we're doing. I'm taking advantage of the sunlight for sure. Now for this look, I'm going to keep my eyebrows. I'm just going to make them a tiny bit darker. And give them a good brush out. Just going to look in my trusty mirror here. Ooh. Looking very white. I'm just going to dab my nose out again. There we go. What did I say? Don't forget the ears. The ears, the ears, the ears. I'm just going to use the sponge here. I'm just going to dab top of my ears. We'll get in my hair a little bit, but we'll sort that out later. Because my ears are looking very red. Now, ooh, ooh, definitely a difference there. And we're just, I think, just gonna put a bit of hair over that. Oh, that's better. Okay. Now I'll be throwing something over my shoulders, so just remember, anything, if whatever color you're coloring yourself, always make sure you cover the skin parts or what's going to appear in the part of the costume or in the photo, that type of thing. Okay, so I am nice and pale. I will, I think, give another little layer, but that's looking pretty good. Yep, I think I might just a little bit more on the cheeks here. Lovely. And around the eyes. And just over here. Like really nicely dab that out. Okie dokie. Okay, so now that we've covered our face and we're looking good and pale, lovely, lovely, we are just lightly going to powder our face with some translucent powder. Or if we're sticking with the white, I'm sure. I'm just powdering because I used foundation, a liquid foundation, and I need it to set and stick nicely. Lovely. Just gonna put that all over our face, just like that. I'm just gonna grab my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm just gonna powder all over my eyes and everywhere. Oh, there we go. That's looking nice and pale. And as you guys can see, I just put my little shoulder bit, my little lacy bit over. As you know, vampires, all sorts of different vampires, but to me, I like the old school Victorian kind of vampires. Ooh, look at that. Okie dokie. So there's that. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to do my eyebrows. And I'm just grabbing a angled brush like this and my little spoolie. And what we're going to do is just going to comb my brows out a little bit, just so we see what we're working with. Lovely. I'm just going to hit straight in there, show you guys. I'm just filling in the little gaps. Nice and dark. Ooh, already bit of definition. I'm just going to follow through on that and just give them a little brush. Lovely. Beautiful. Brush out this here. Move over to the next one. And fill in this gap that I have here. There we go. Beauty. Just brush this out nicely. Up and away. Up and away. Beautiful. Now, because you have your foundation here, if you do spot a little bit and you just want to fix it up, fix it right up. Lovely. And then we powder, of course, just a little bit. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, let's see here. And there's our brows. Lovely, lovely. Okay, now we are gonna make our eyes just a bit darker. This is, I'm sort of aiming for a tiny bit seductive, but crazy vamp is what we're aiming for. So I'm just gonna get my blendy brush, and as you guys can see, my little doggo is down here being very naughty and interrupting, curious as you could say. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna move a tiny bit closer, and I'm just gonna make the eyes a smidge darker. Now I'm just using a eyeshadow palette for this. It's quite a neutral one. Mine is Ben Nye, but of course if your mum has some old makeup lying around, by all means use it. There we go. So what I'm doing, I'm just doing a tiny little flick and I'm blending it out a little bit, and then I'll go in and define it. I think I might pop a tiny bit of brown in here just to make things a bit interesting, just on the top there. Beautiful. And then I will go back in with the black, and I'm just going to pick a lighter color just to work it off at the top here, just like that. Just a lighter eyeshadow that we're just gonna blend up out with. Beautiful. And there we go. Just a little bit more. There we are. And then I think I might pop a tiny bit of red in there. I've got this beautiful color here. This one here and that one. I think I might pop some of that in as well, just to create a bit of fun. She is a vampire after all. Oh yeah, that's lovely. If you guys can see that, that's nice, that color. Okay, and I'm just gonna go back in. I'm just using the angle brush and working back into my eye. Makes a tiny little wing effect, and that's what we're searching for. Beautiful. And I've just got some transfer on my cheek here, so we'll just have to get rid of that. And of course, blend, 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 blend. You have to go in under, we'll go in under our eyes once, twice, just so we can, if any excess falls, of course. I'm just gonna powder that. On the other side, beautiful. Too easy, and then we'll move on to the other eye and we'll just match them up. Sorry about that, guys. I just the dog was chewing on my little bottle of fake blood, so I just had to go, I don't know, rescue him or rescue the bottle. Okay, so I'm just taking that red in there again as well. Beautiful. And there is that. I'm going to do the same with the other eye. And start just there and work my way on top. Just like this. Just a nice little bold line. And then I'm just going to brush it in, brush it in, brush it in. And then I'm going to go back to that brownie color and I'm just going to pop that on the lid. Just nice and gently. And then my big fluffy brush. Take that, I'm going to go back in with the lighter color and just blend that out a bit. Beautiful. Lovely. And I think I might just a tiny bit. There we go. Just going to take that white color again and just blend. You don't have to create a smoky eye as much as this. You could just give a little, just a little wing could be fine as well. If you don't want to go the full smoky, which by all means you do not have to. At all. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab this again and I'm just going to work from there inwards. As you guys can see, it's not a neat line, but it's enough of a line. Now, and I'm just dabbing on some of this my little red wine color. Just dabbing that on as well. I'm just checking both sides and I'm just going to enhance it a little bit. Just a little bit with this red because it's beautiful. Oh, look at that. Lovely. I'm just going to get right in there. Beautiful. And then I'm going to just take a little bit of my foundation and just fix my little corner boo-boo I made here. There's always one eye that works out better than the other, in my case at least. But they don't have to be too defined at all. Would you like to say hi? Say hello, camera. Say Mama's busy, but I'm being naughty and I need attention. Okay, sit over there, please. Thank you. Sit. Sorry about that. Sorry about that one, guys. Okay, so that is our eyes. Beautiful. Just gonna, nice red. I'm just gonna blend this one up a little bit more. Lovely. There we are. Sorry. Okay, and I'm just gonna blend that just a tiny bit more. And there we go. Beautiful. Now, what I'm going to use next is for our lips, we're going to leave them quite muted. But we are going to do a tiny bit of color just in the middle. So for that, I'm just going to use my cream palette. I'm just going to choose. I'm going with my red on there, but only the tiniest little bit. And then I'm just going to get my cat brush. And it's just going to be the tiniest bit of color. If you have a natural lip color. There's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just lightly, just lightly going to mute the lines a little bit at the top. Just using my little sponge again. And there we go. Not too lifelike, but a bit of color, which is what we want. Now, to make her look a bit scary, we're going to give her a bit of veins, and I'm going to use my Ripper FX light flesh palette for that, and also my Ripper FX palette. Now, these are alcohol activated, super easy to use and super fun and super effective. So I've got my very tiny little brush and a bigger one. And first I'm just going to go in with a very light color. And to activate these, you use your alcohol or IPA. Mine is from Scotty's. And this is just activating it. And I'm just going to draw some little lines for myself, just to act as a bit of a guide. Just to act as a guide, because they are meant to be veiny. But that's kind of the effect that we want to go for. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a bit of a darker color. Just got my what color is this? Olive. Let's have a squiz. Rose toner. That's what we're going to use. And I'm just going to mute it a little bit with the lighter color that you saw before. And now I'm going to use my very tiny brush. And we're just going to go create little veins. And we're going to pop some blue ones in there as well. Very muted blue. But that would look really nice. Bit too wet. I'm going to try and get right in under the eye there. We're going to put a bit of the that burgundy color that I used at the top. We're going to pop a little bit of that under the eye and a bit of red in my waterline. Now you only use the brush very lightly. Like I'm hardly pressing down on my skin just to get that effect. And sometimes it's too wet. Easy fix though. Now with the alcohol, what you want to do is you just want to get a cotton bud Just spray a tinsy wincy on the cotton bud. And I'm just gonna lightly dab that, not too much. Don't want to take too much of our white foundation off. And then I'm just gonna go in there and I'm just gonna use my finger to fix that up. There we go. And of course, a little bit of powder. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to use my same little tiny brush to do the other side. Now if you feel you're leaning on your face, which I sometimes do, I always get just that little powder puff and just pop it on my finger wherever I'm leaning. Just because sometimes you lean and you don't realize that you're leaning. So however it fits in your hand and you do that. So I am leaning just a tiny bit. So I'm just going to pop it like this. So when I draw, it's still do what I need to do and I'm not touching the foundation or the paint, depending on which one you are using. Just need a bit more. A bit lighter. And also if you have an itch, powder puff's good. Beautiful. And of course the sides do not have to look the same at all. They don't have to look the same. And the slightest. Beautiful. Okie dokie. So I'm just gonna use my alcohol spray and just clean the red off my little brush. And then I'm gonna go in with this bluey kind of color, just so you know they are veins, not too much, a bit muted. We'll use the same light color to mute that off, just a little bit. Also make sure that I only have a tiny bit on my brush, and we're just gonna kind of go over where we were, if that makes sense. Lost my powder puff, had to touch my face. So what we're gonna do is just a little bit, and we're just gonna use our finger to mute it out a bit more. There we go. Clean my brush again. Lovely, lovely. And then just gonna go back in with my eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna use my angled brush. And like I said, with that wine red color, we're just gonna go under my eye just a little bit. Just like that. Right. Beautiful. And then I'm going to go back to my cream palette, this one, and I'm going to take a tiny amount of red. As you guys can see, that's super tiny. And I'm going to use that under my eyes as well. If you have contact lenses and you want to put it with this look, by all means, it would look amazing. I did this look a few years ago for one of my friends had a Halloween party, of course, and I love doing it, but I had my white contact lenses in, so they really like popped. But if you have contact lenses or you don't have contact lenses, you're still gonna look scary. Beautiful. And I'm just using a little cotton pad just to soften that red line out, but that already adds little vampires. So I think I'm gonna put some veiny bits. I think I might put veiny bits here as well. Just little muted ones. So I'm just using the same two colors I used before. And I'm just giving them a bit of a mix together. I'm just going to go back in here, go over these a little bit. Go, beautiful. There we go. I'm just mixing the blue veiny color with the rosy color just to get Oh, not brown. Is what we don't want. Beautiful. Now I am gonna finish up the side and then I'm gonna go put my fangs in and then we'll have a look at the reveal. Okay, so I've done this side. I've added a little bit more veins just to make it look a bit more scary. Okay, and I'm just gonna put my fangs in. And you've got my little ones, mine come with a little dental glue. And I gotta make sure my tooth is nice and dry. And there you have it, guys. There is our complete vampire look. She's nice and pale. She's got her fangs. She's ready to go. And of course, we can't. And just a little bit of your finest fake blood you have. And I'm just going to drip it down and let gravity do its job. But there you go, guys. Super easy vampire look. If you don't have any of the fancy stuff that I mentioned, also wearing fangs, you sound very weird. Oh, look, I caught a little blood there. Oh, that looks nice. So what I was saying is that if you don't have any of the alcohol palettes and stuff, don't stress. This is completely achievable with face paint as well, which is normally my go-to. But yeah, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed it and happy Halloween. Thank you, Hallozween, for having me yet again. Oh, I lost a fang. Oh. Thank you, Hallozween, for having me yet again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial as much as I liked making it. Thank you so much.